Of course, Lolita has become this real sort of touch point for a lot of discourse and a lot of disapproving discourse. Everyone is sort of anxious to dump on it as a problematic book, you know, the kind that if a guy says it's his favorite, you shouldn't date him because
Right,
something's
right.
very wrong.
It's a
And
red flag.
exactly. And
Right.
so that, you know, at this point in my mind, it had been very much eclipsed as a work of literature by all of the ways that people talk about it, people who often have not read it, who
Right.
object to it just kind of on principle and in theory. And so I was so surprised and delighted, yes, by how well written it is, you know, by how beautiful the prose, also by how funny. It's
It's very
so
funny.
incredibly funny. And I appreciated that, although I understand it too as a way of sort of making you form an intimate relationship with this guy who is telling a horrible story, or a story about a horrible thing rather, but in this very charming and also self-deprecating way where he's sort of like, oh yeah, I'm a
Right.
monster. And you're like, yeah, you are, but I kind of like you, you know?
Yep.
But also just the sort of straightforward, like often the jokes right on the page when he describes the letter that Lolita's mother wrote to him confessing her love, and then he starts kind
Right.
of editorializing about it and how he put it in the toilet, and it's straightforwardly funny. And then it's of course wrapped in this framework of it being like a posthumous diary published by a psychotherapist who thought it was an interesting case study, and that is also very funny.
It's weird rereading it now because I can't have that authentic like first experience. You can't have it again, you know, where you're seduced by this character and then horrified and then seduced and horrified. So I don't see that. Now I see like traps Nabokov is setting. Like
So,
in the doctor's introduction, for instance, he references Vivian Dark.